Here we go with day 6 notes. The topic for today is still factoring. We've done GCF, we've done difference of squares, we did the first stages of factoring where a is equal to 0, and now we're going to do some harder ones where a is not equal to 0, where it's not equal to 1. So it's going to be larger numbers, but let's do a little recap here. So let's just start. I'm going to just throw some examples up here. Let's go ahead and start with GCF. So a little reminder here, GCF could be a number or it could be a variable, or it could be both. So again, let me just throw up an example to refresh your memory. It could be something like 6x squared plus 9x. And then it wants you to find the GCF, the greatest common factor. You're going to want to look for a number or maybe a variable, sometimes it's both, that you could be pulled out. I noticed that they both can have a 3 taken out. 3 goes out of 6 and 3 goes out of 9. And I also noticed that they both have x's, so I'm also going to take out an x. So if I take out a 3x, that goes on the outside. 3 goes into 6 2 times. I have an x left over. And then 3 goes into positive 9 3 times with no x's left over because I took that one out in the front. And that's how we practiced a GCF. We did that a few days ago. Then that same day we did difference of squares. Things to remember for this. Let's go ahead and write must be negative. Must be negative. There's my minus sign. And then I'm going to also write here perfect square. It must be a perfect square. Remember, we listed all of those out. I said you're really going to have to be familiar with those. So again, here's an example. 4x squared minus 16. It is a binomial. It has two terms. It has a minus sign, so that's good. And then you want to check for perfect squares. So is 4 a perfect square? If you take the square root of 4, that's 2, so that's good. And then is 16 a perfect square? If you take the square root of 16, that's 4. So that one's also good. So then you split it into your factors. This one's a little different. We haven't done a ton like this. The square root of 4 is 2. So you split up that into 2 and 2, and that has the x next to it. And then the square root of 16 is 4. So each of those get 4. And then notice that they look exactly the same right now, except for your final answer. One of them is going to have a plus, and one of them is going to have a minus. But everything else about it, those two pieces are looking the same. Just one is a positive and one is a negative. And then this is what we just did the other day. Factoring trinomials. This was when a is equal to 1. I know I mentioned this out loud a few times. I do trial and error. So you're going to want a pencil. You might need to erase. And then the other thing I mentioned and showed just a few times, you can check your work by foiling your answer, by doing the FOIL method. So here's an example just to kind of show you what it looks like again. X squared plus 7x plus 6. So just to remind you what you want to do, you want to say what multiplies to 6 and adds to 7. So things that multiply to 6 are 6 times 1 or 3 times 2. The only combination here that would get me to a 7 is if I add 6 plus 1. They're both positive. That would get me the 7 that I want. So then I make my factors. I separate x squared into x and x. One of them gets a positive 6 and one of them gets a positive 1. And we did a bunch of problems like that, a bunch of variety, and that's what we're going to continue doing today. Today's problems are just a little bit more challenging. So if you notice on these first few problems here, all of the a values, the numbers in the front are different. This first one has a 2, the next one has a 5, the next one after that has a 4, has a 2, this one has a 3. They're not 1 anymore. When they're not 1 and they're a different number, it becomes much more complicated. In theory, the concept is still the same. I'm still going to do it kind of the same way. I'm still doing trial and error. I'm going to show you a quick little way to check your work. But make sure you have a pencil. You might need to erase it and go back and try a few things before you get the final thing, the final answer. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We're going to do the same type of thing as before. We'll multiply this to 3 and adds to 5. It's like, in theory, kind of what I'm doing. So the only thing that multiplies to 3 is 3 and 1. Okay, so now, when I make my factors, this is just like a little bit different. When I make my factors, I need to split up, put some arrows, split up the 2x squared. The only thing that multiplies to 2x squared would be 2x in 1x. 2x times 1x gets me back to 2x squared. Then I have to be very precise on where I place the 3 and the 1. It matters the order. So I know which order to put them in, and I'll show you why. I need to put the 3 first and the 1 second. And this is how I'm going to check my work. Again, it's trial and error, so I kind of just pick that and I'm going to check it. So what you need to do to check your work is you need to multiply these inner pieces. 3 times 1x is 3x. Multiply the outer pieces. 2x times 1 is 2x. Then you need to figure out how can you combine those. I'm going to highlight these yellow. How can you combine those to get a positive 5x? The only way to do it is if they're both positive. 3x plus 2x is 5x. So what you need to do then is you need to kind of backtrack here and you need to say if this needs to be a positive 3x, then the 3 has to be positive. And if this needs to be a positive 2x, then the 1 has to be positive. And that is how you would get your work. And this orange part down below is how I checked it. If you're still just not quite sure and you want to check this even further, you can FOIL it. 2x times 1x is 2x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. 3 times 1x is 3x. And 3 times 1 is 3. I can combine like terms. And I get 2x squared plus 5x plus 3, and that's an exact match to the beginning, so that means I did it right. Again, the red part is how you would check your work. Okay, let's do another one. So what multiplies to 2 adds to 9. The only thing that multiplies to 2 is 2 and 1, so let's go ahead and make my factors here. You need to split up 5x squared. The only way I can split up 5x squared is 5x in 1x. Then again, I need to use the 2 and the 1, but it's very important the order. And this is where you're going to need a pencil. You might need to check this out a few times. I need to put the 1 first and the 2 second. And then let's see what happens here. I'm going to multiply the inside. 1 times 1x is 1x squared. Just 1x. There we go. And then 5x times 2 is 10x. I need to see how can I combine these orange pieces to get me the 9x that I want, or the negative 9x that I want. If the 1x is positive and the 10x is negative, that's going to get me what I want. So then I backtrack. If I want 1x to be positive, this 1 has to be positive. And if I want this negative 10x, I need to backtrack and I need to make this 2 a negative. And then there's my final answer. And again, you can FOIL to check that. Let's do some more. We'll multiply this to 6. 6 times 1 or 3 times 2. Let's make our factors. I need to split up 2x squared. So that would be 2x and 1x. Okay, so now it's going to be very important that I go ahead and pick, and you might have to again use pencil, trial and error. I need to pick the correct combination. Should I pick the 3 and the 2, or should I pick the 6 and the 1? Okay, again, you're going to have to kind of trial this out. I think I'm going to try the 6 and the 1. I'm going to put the 6 first and the 1 second. Let's test it with the orange here. That gives me 6x. That gives me 2x. If I want to combine those, this needs to be a positive 6 and a negative 2x. That gets me the 4x squared that I want. Again, I'll highlight that yellow so you know that that's going to match. That means the 6 has to be positive and the 1 has to be negative. And that would be acceptable. Okay, number 4. What multiplies to 5? 5 times 1. And then let's break this into my factors here. I need to separate 3x squared, so that would be 3x times 1x. I need to, again, pick very carefully. Order matters. Should the 5 go first or should the 1 go first? Again, you're going to need to use a pencil probably and erase a few times. I'm going to do the 5 first and the 1 second. Multiply the inside. Multiply the outside. You want to figure out how can you get those to match the 2x that you want. The only way to get that to match is if the 5 is positive and the 3 is negative. That'll get those to match what you want. So you kind of have to backtrack that. The 5 is going to have to be positive, and then on the outside here, the 1's going to have to be negative. Okay, let's go through a bunch more. So this next one, you can go ahead and factor it, or actually I noticed right away on this next problem that I can go ahead and take out a GCF. So I could take out a 3 from each piece. Let's see what I have left. X squared plus 2x minus 3. And this is actually really great because now I'm going to factor this trinomial. And I notice that this is great because it has no number in the front right here, so it's going to be kind of nice. So it multiplies to 3 and adds to 2x. Let's see, the 3 would have to be positive, the 1 would have to be negative. That would get me what I want. I need to take this 3 in the front and make sure I don't forget about it. So I drop down x squared is x and x. I need a positive 3 and I need a negative 1. And the reason this one's easier is, again, where I highlighted green, there's just a 1 there. Let's do the same theory for this next one. I'm going to take out a 2 from each piece because they can do that. And they also all have x's, so let's take out a 2x. So I'm going to be left with x squared plus 2x plus 1. And again, this is going to be a nice one. I'm going to factor this trinomial. What multiplies to 1? Well, that's 1 times 1. I need to add to 2, so they both need to be positive. I'm going to break this into my factors. I separate x squared into x and x, and I need to use a positive 1 and a positive 1. And then there's my whole answer, factored form. Okay, this next one I have no GCF, so I'm just going to have to do what multiplies to 4, 4 times 1 and 2 times 2. I'm going to make my factors. I need to split up 3x squared, so that's going to be 3x and 1x. I need to be careful on which one to pick. Should I use the 4 and the 1, or should I use the 2 and the 2? And the order matters. So this is why pencil is very important. I'm going to use the 1 first and the 4 second. I'm going to do my little method here in orange. Multiply the inside, multiply the outside. I need those to match negative 11. So I need the 12 to be negative and the 1 to be positive. And then I backtrack here. So that means the 1 is positive and the 4 is going to have to be negative. And there's my factored form. Same thing for the next one. What multiplies to 6? I have two options. Let me break this up into my factors. I separate 5x squared into 5x and 1x. You have to be careful on which pair you pick. I'm going to pick the 3 and the 2, but order matters. So I'm going to put the 2 first and the 3 second. And again, you might try something and it might not work and you have to erase it and you go back and you do it again. You get good at this with a lot of practice. So I'm multiplying the outside here. I need these to add up to negative 13. So the 2 is going to be positive, the 15 is going to be negative. If I backtrack here, that means the 2 is going to have that plus sign, and then the 3 is going to have that minus sign. And then there's my factored form. Okay, very quickly here. This last one, I'm going to take out a GCF. I'm going to take out a 2. And then I'm going to factor this trinomial. And please try this on your own. Check your answer with mine. And then the very last one, I'm also going to factor it. And when you do so, try it on your own. This one's a little bit trickier, but here is the final answer. Make sure you can do that on your own.